Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is the third video in the same morning with no sleep where I'm trying to unhaul books. This is going to be the last one I do this morning. I'm going to get some sleep. But I've got so many books in front of me. I'm trying to be really brutal and get rid of lots of books because I've got too many. So I'm just going to do this video to see how you feel about these books. And me doing it in front of you guys makes it a little bit more like I'm determined to get rid of these books. So I've only kept a portion of the ones I'm looking at. So I've got piles and piles of books in front of me, boxes of books in front of me. What I'm going to do once I've done these unhaul videos is I'm going to do separate videos of what I've kept. So for example, there'll be a video about my science fiction stuff. There'll be a video about my cartoonist collection, stuff like that. But for now, let's see what else I can get rid of. So, autobiography of Whoopi Goldberg. I'm going to get rid of that. I've had it ages, never read it. I think it belongs to my wife, and she's not read it either. So that's going. This is one of my textbooks for my history degree, Europe in the 16th century. I remember used it a lot, but I don't think I want to keep it. So it's going. This one, if this was a paperback, I'd be more likely to keep it. Ian Banks' Transition. It's just massive and it takes up a lot of room. I don't know. Is this really good? The back looks, the little synopsis on the back makes it look really good. And I haven't read any Ian Banks yet. I don't know whether to keep it or not. I'm going to get rid of it. If you think I should read it, then let me know. Because one, I might not have got rid of it yet because I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. Also, I'll find it somehow if I should have it. Okay, what else have we got here? Gill's All-Fright Diner. I got this from eBay literally because I thought I'd love it, and I haven't read it yet, so I need to keep that and read it for a start. This, I wanted to get the other books in the series of this. I really love the cover. And it's like the best new horror series. This is number 2. I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to try and get 1 and 3. So I'll keep that. Rosa Luxemburg's view on the Russian Revolution. This was really useful for me. This is, again, it's nice, really like good condition. I can't resist it. I'm going to keep it. I'll keep this one. See, look, I can't help myself. This is a good John Scalzi book, Head On. This was the first John Scalzi book I read. I think I'm going to keep it because I really did like it, and I might reread it. So I'm going to keep it. Yeah, I'm not going to keep every John Scalzi book, but I'm going to keep this one. Okay. Yeah, the Armchair Horror Collection is really good. It's got stories that are linked to TV and film. So yes, it's a really good book actually, a good anthology collection. So I've had this a long time, and I will definitely keep this. I don't even remember what this is about. Shutter Moon. I bought it new, but it's just been sat in a box for ages. I'm going to get rid of it because I haven't got a massive connection to it. And this is the prime candidate for stuff I should get rid of. If I don't even remember what it was supposed to be about, doesn't matter if I bought it new, it's going. Okay. Murakami, Underground. I haven't read any Murakami yet. So I ought to keep it so I can read it. Oh, this is a true story about a terrorist attack. Okay, I'll keep it anyway. See what I think. This is a really good textbook about vocal skills. I'm going to keep that. Probably take it to work. Children of Men. This is definitely going to be kept, but I would like to find a paperback version. But I'm keeping this. It's my only copy I've got. That's a bit of a knackered version of Star Dance. I'm not going to keep this because he's dead, Jim. I just think it's an accident waiting to happen. I'd like to find it again though, but I'm getting rid of it. Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Khan. Ironically, that's the Bin Men. That shows you how late it is, or early in the morning. Anyway, Nothing But Blackened Teeth. I'm going to get rid of that because I don't think I'm going to reread it. Good Omens. I need to read this. I haven't read it yet, so I'm going to keep it. All My Sins Remembered by Joe Haldeman. I like this book, so I'm keeping this. The Last Werewolf. You don't see werewolf stories very often. That was I bought that. I was really pleased when I found it, so I'm going to keep this. I haven't read it yet, so I'm going to keep that one. That's another box emptied. Okay. A Man Called Ove. I can't remember what this is about, but I know a lot of people talk about it. I'm going to keep it because I haven't read it, but I don't know why it's been praised. I can't remember, but I'm going to keep it anyway. Definitely have to keep this. This was the first book I had on the Addams Family, so it has a lot of sentimental value. Plus, I'll get anything on the Addams Family. I'm a huge fan. And you'll see when you look at the cartoonist collection I've got lots of Charles Addams books. I'm a huge fan, so I'm keeping this. It means a lot to me, this book. Poetry book, the new poetry. So I'm trying to keep poetry, or at least find poetry for the occasional PAX Poetry Thursdays, Panic Poetry thing. But I don't like a lot of poetry I read, so I'm kind of, I'm bulking up my collection with stuff where I might only like a couple of poems in it. But I'm going to keep it because I do need to find poetry to read on Thursdays. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I'm going to keep this because I've almost read it a number of times. So at some point, I'm going to read it. So I'm keeping that. Love is a Dog from Hell. Definitely keeping any Charles Bukowski I've got. And this isn't a double or anything. This is the only copy I've got of Love is a Dog from Hell. So I'm keeping this. Philosophy for Beginners. I really like this book. And it does cover a lot of ground. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it because I like philosophy, and this has got some areas in it that I haven't studied as much, so I'm going to keep it. Even though I did a philosophy course, and there's a video I did on philosophy that you might be interested in if you're interested in philosophy. Heart of Darkness. See, I want to read this. I haven't read it yet. I want to read it. I'll keep it. I'll keep it. You're telling me now to keep it. I can hear you saying it. I'm going to keep it. Definitely keeping Brian Patton's love poems. Brian Patton's books. Again, I've had this book for about 33 years or something. So it means a lot to me. Definitely having this. Well, probably about 35 years actually. Yeah, about 35 years. So yeah, definitely keeping this. It means a lot. Awesome stuff. This was my favourite book about the Soviet Union by Jeffrey Hoskin. And at the moment, I'm going to keep it. So I'm trying to be harsh, but I'm keeping this one. So that stays. Okay, The Last Colony is part of the Old Man's War books, and I've only read the first one so far. I've got Ghost Brigade to read, which is the second one, and then I think it's Zoe's Tale, and then it's this one. So I do need to keep this because I don't want to, if I do get into the rhythm of reading the Old Man's War books, I don't want to wait if I want to jump on to the next one. So I'm going to keep that. Spares, this is supposed to be really good, and I was really pleased to find it secondhand, so I'm going to keep it, but I ought to read it. This is a book about cloning, I think. I'm keeping this really because I bought this because of Pax, or essentially Pax bought it for me because I bought it from a voucher she gave me. So I'm keeping this in memory of Pax. Charles Bukowski, another Charles Bukowski book. This was one I didn't enjoy when I reread it, and this was a nice sort of wake-up call, thinking I might not like him as much as I used to. So I'm going to be reading more of Bukowski's stuff next year to see if I feel the same consistently. But certainly this book I found more irritating than I was expecting. So yeah, that was an interesting one. But Bukowski is very important to me for all sorts of reasons, which I have gone over before in a different video. But I need to reread this stuff. Timeline by Crichton. I need to read this because I have to talk about, well, I'm going to do another video on time travel books. It'll be my third video on time travel books. And this is an important one, I think, to consider. So I'll keep that, and I'll need to read it. Time and Again, I have read. I'm going to keep it because I might include it in the third video. I don't know. If this isn't one of my favourite time travel books, but it is a good one. It is good. So I'll keep it in case I use it. The Elf Queen of Shannara. I've got loads of... Is there any more in that box? Oh no, there must be another box. I've got loads of Terry Brooks books. And I bought them loads at the same time because the first 3 Shannara books I read when I was a kid and I really liked them. I thought, wouldn't be interesting to read some more, but I don't think I'm going to read them. So I'm going to get rid of it because I don't think I'm going to read them. So that'll be a whole bunch of books I'll get rid of once I get to them. A Guide to the Star Wars Universe. This is really quite basic and totally out of date. It's quite cute. It's got things like little illustrations for the entries, but I'm not going to keep it because even if it's a bit cute, I'm not going to keep a book for that reason. So that's going. The Worm Ouroboros is an important work because it had such an influence. I don't know what I'm going to think of it. Am I ever going to read this? I don't know if I'm ever going to read it. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm getting rid of it. If there's any doubt that I'm never going to read it, and I have found that a few times in second-hand shops. The Moon is a Harsh Mistress. Some people say that's their favourite Highland book, which would be interesting. But I'm going to keep it until I've read it. I don't think I'm going to keep it once I've read it, but I don't know. I'm going to read it before I get rid of it, in case I really like it. Matilda. I forgot I had this. I'm going to read this. So, yeah, I need to remember I've got that. I forgot I had that. John Gray, Straw Dogs. That's a philosophy book about the way we treat animals, I think. Yeah. I'm going to keep it. And I think I'm going to reread it. Rockstar Stole My Life by Mark Ellen. I really do like Mark Ellen. He was obviously one of the presenters of the Old Grey Whistle Test. He created Q Magazine and Mojo Magazine. Really interesting guy. I think I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep that. There's The Black Unicorn by Terry Brooks. Have I got... I don't think I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to keep it. I'm going to try and be harsh. I probably do want to read it, but I'm not going to keep it. Maybe I'll find it again one day. This is How We Lose the Time War. I didn't like this book. Not a lot. It was a really strange book to read because some elements of it were really good. But ultimately, the whole point of the time travel, they didn't have to travel in time to do what they were doing in the book. So it was a very strange book in that sense. So I'm going to get rid of this because I'm pretty sure it's not going to feature in my favourite time travel books video that I'm going to do. Agent to the Stars, John Scalzi, I'm going to keep that. That's a really good book and it's quite rare as well. They only just reissued it and this was an American import. So I'm keeping this. So that can go with the John Scalzi stuff I'm keeping. Sudden Appearance of Hope, one of my favourite books. Certainly the only copy I've got of this, and I'm keeping all of my Claire North books. So, yeah, definitely have to keep this. Lock In, another book I really liked. This was the first book to Head On. So this came out first, and Head On was like a sequel, but I read the other one first. I didn't know that, and I really like this. So I'm keeping this because again, it's one of my favourite John Scalzi books. It's a police procedural science fiction book. This is a really interesting book. David Quantick, All My Colours. I'm keeping this because it's quite an unusual one, and I think it's not that prevalent around either. I don't think I'm necessarily going to see it a lot. So I'm going to keep this. Interesting book. That's another box done. Right, okay, let's look at these ones. Okay. Salman Rushdie, Shalimar the Clown. I haven't read any Salman Rushdie, and I bought this wanting to read some Salman Rushdie. So I'm going to keep it. I'm keeping it. Michael Crichton, Prey. Another book I see a lot. When am I going to get around to this? By the time I get around to it, I might have found it again. So I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to be harsh. I'm going to get rid of this because I've got loads of copies of this. It's one of my, well, it is my joint all-time favourite book, but it's knackered. So I don't need to have this copy of it. So, yeah, it's going. This is, I've got 2 copies of this because this came in and my dogs ripped it apart. And I don't know if this is the version my dogs ripped up because there's a bit knackered on the corner, but I think it was worse. I think this might just be the better copy. But I need to read this. Buddy Holly is Alive and Well and Ganymede. It's a comedy science fiction book and it's probably going to be right up my street. But I need to put it aside to see which is the worst condition one because it looks like even my other one isn't great condition. Journal of the Plague Year, Daniel Defoe. I don't really need to keep this. I'm going to get rid of it. Dustbin of Milligan. Did I just see the Dustbin of Milligan? Which one was it? I'll check. If it was the Dustbin of Milligan I saw earlier, I'll only keep 1 copy of it, but I can't remember. I'll put it over here for a minute. Maya Angelou, The Heart of a Woman. I'm definitely going to keep all of the Angelou ones. There's about 4 or 5 Maya Angelou books in these boxes. I'm going to keep this because I know I will reread it. War with No End. This is yeah, this looks like a really interesting bit of kind of anti-war journalism and commentary from lots of different writers for the Stop the War Coalition. Is it? Yeah, Stop the War Coalition. So I'm keeping that. Rivers of London. I think I've got more than one copy of this. I'm definitely going to keep my copy of a copy of this before I finish the series. Once I finish the series, I might get rid of them. But I do enjoy them. I've read 3 so far. Yeah, I've read 3 books out of the series so far. So I'm going to keep this, but I think I've got more than one copy. So I'm going to put this on the pile of duplicates to see which one I need. This is a collection of different cartoons. I need to keep this as part of my cartoonist collection. So, you know, 1-panel cartoons. I'll keep this. I'll do one more and then that's it. This is a really good book, actually. It's a really, really good book. It was also a present from a friend. 33 revolutions per minute. A history of protest songs. It's 33 different protest songs that gets analysed in this book and its cultural significance. It's a really good book. Definitely recommend it if you're interested in protest songs. Okay, so that pile is bigger, but that pile is bigger. I've got empty boxes. I'm getting somewhere with this. So you can see what sort of stuff I'm trying to keep and trying to ditch. And yeah, we'll see how we get on. Thanks a lot for watching. I need to get some sleep. Bye.